kind of the update on Otto Porter?
He's doubtful for tomorrow. The x-rays were negative, as Raymond told you last night. So he wasn't feeling terrible this morning, but we'll obviously be cautious with him if it's a close call, we wouldn't plan. So we'll see how he's doing.
Sounds like good news considering how it comes.
Yeah, definitely good news. So we'll make sure we play it safe, but we'll see how it plays out.
Is there a premium to getting this series over so you can get rest, not just necessarily savoring the accomplishment, but just knowing how much rest for guys who are older on this team, a little bit more rest for Steph and Clay and Draymond, so not to necessarily say looking ahead, but just not having this linger on longer than maybe you wanted to?
Can't look at it that way. You can never look at it that way. You have to just think about the next game and try to close the series out. It's always the toughest game, the closeout game, so we know it's going to be difficult, and that's all we're focused on.
Steve, what do you think this team learned from the first two closeout games against Denver and against Memphis of maybe what didn't go right?
I thought we were a little careless in Denver, and Memphis just destroyed us, obviously, in that Game 5. I think our guys have improved and learned a lot during these playoffs, and I would expect that we've learned from those two games that we lost, and that we'll have a more focused effort tomorrow.
Steve, you're focused on tomorrow, but is there a part of you that can savor this journey that you guys have been on since June of 2019 to be one win away from the NBA Finals again?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's so great to be back in the mix and to, just to have a chance and to see our guys performing at such a high level, on the big stage. And this is kind of what everybody lives for. And you have to enjoy it while it's happening. And then you got to go do your job, obviously. But, I've just thoroughly enjoyed seeing our guys compete and stay connected and improve and succeed. It's great. We've been through a lot the last couple of years, so wonderful to be back in this position.
And does that make it almost sweeter?
I mean, every season is unique, and what makes it unique as a coach is that, generally speaking, each team has different players. You have your core group that has stayed the same, but there's always wonderful individual stories within each season, and so it's fun to see a new group this year succeeding and on this journey together. The core guys are thrilled to be back. The new guys are thrilled just to be here, and that's fun to see as well.
Heading into the season, there was a whole conversation of bridging the gap between the current and the future. I know we're still in the middle of it all, and you guys want to accomplish more. But do you feel that you guys have been successful in that, in having Clay and Steph and Draymond still be who they are, but bringing on this next gen?
Yeah. I mean, I know that was a big theme coming into the season, and I think organizationally we should feel pretty good about how things have panned out, where we are. Whether we can go on and win 5 more games or not, who knows? But we've been able to get this far and compete at a really high level and prove that we belong, in the conversation, and at the same time, kind of raise our young, and we got a really good mentoring system in place. Andre Iguodala has been amazing this year, teaching the young guys. They've all gotten a taste of what it feels like at the highest level, and it's a huge experience for them. So I think organizationally, it's we're in a good spot, but it doesn't guarantee anything either. But it's nice to know we've got some young guys who are talented, who can absorb all this and hopefully keep us good in the future as well.
This season has kind of been a waiting game for you guys, waiting for Clay to get back, then Draymond and Steph, and then it was kind of like we'll figure it out during the postseason on how it's all going to work out. Is this how you imagined it, unfolding once everyone was healthy?
I felt like we had a chance to be a lot better than we were in the regular season once we got, not that we have everybody together, but we have, a lot of key pieces together. We've been able to play some lineups in the playoffs that we weren't able to play in the regular season, and I think that makes us better. So we believed, from the beginning that we could be a pretty good team, and we're catching some momentum now and trying to ride it out as best we can.
Is Moses one of the more poised 19-year-old rookies you've been around?
Yeah, definitely. He's kind of an old soul. He's just very wise, very poised. He doesn't get rattled at all. Understands the game, understands where to be and how to play. So really solid.
I asked Steph, what makes this particular team's personality different from other teams that he's been on that made the playoff runs, and he said the ability to learn things on the fly. Would you say something similar to that, just about this team's characteristics?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it earlier. We're getting better as the playoffs go, and it's not just individually, but collectively. I think we're making improvements, and guys are really filling roles well, and it's fun to see it all come together.
You turned to Juan when Otto went out. What did you think about his minutes?
Juan was good. He was aggressive defensively. Made a couple really nice plays offensively where he helped free up shooters. He plays with such great energy and intensity. It's fun to get him out there. It's been a rough go for Juan. In the postseason, he hasn't really had much of a chance. So I loved seeing him get his opportunity and come in and do a good job.
What do you like about how Steph's coaches get picked on? Been years where teams are like, let's go at Steph. What do you like about how he handles it?
Well, number one, his conditioning level is insane. I think he's in better shape than everybody in the whole league. I can't imagine anybody doing what Steph does. I know the arena tracking stuff has shown over the years he runs more miles than anybody in the league. A lot of that is offense running off the ball, but a lot of it is because people put him in pick and roll, and he's in a million of them, and he's showing and getting back and racing all over the floor. I think his defense now compared to 7-8 years ago is dramatically better. I think he's stronger. I think he's more able to take on every challenge, and emotionally, mentally, like he's ready for everything. He embraces the challenge, embraces the competition. A big part of being a good defender in the NBA is you can't be afraid to be embarrassed. You can see it all across the league. Everybody now is living for that one moment where you can cross a guy up and crowd all oohs and ahs, and people don't want to get embarrassed. But if you want to be a good defender, you got to be willing to be embarrassed. You got to take on the challenge, and that's one of the things I love about Steph is he takes on every challenge every night, and he doesn't always win the battle, but just by being engaged, play after play, and fighting play after play, it just makes us that much better and gives us a much better chance to win.
Steve, get back to the roster and the makeup of the team this year. Can you talk a little bit about what Bob Myers and his team has been able to accomplish in the roster they gave you? And what do you think the key moves that he's made over the last 2 years to get you this spot?
Bob's amazing. I mean, he's just so great to work with on a day-to-day basis. We have a great friendship, so it goes way beyond just who he picks and who he signs and all that stuff. But he's really good at that stuff too. I think the Wiggins trade is the key to all of this. I've said it many times publicly, but we lost so many wing defenders after the 19 season. Andre, Sean Livingston, Kevin, Clay with the injury. our whole wing core was wiped out defensively. And so the Wiggins trade allowed us to start to rebuild that wing defense. And Wiggs has just been so good. He's gotten so much better over the last couple of years. He's a perfect fit next to our guys. But I don't know where we'd be without him defensively with his work on Luka and, you know, every other top wing that we have to face. He's just been brilliant. So I think that move was kind of the key move that Bob and the front office made to get us back to having a playoff-ready roster.
You like the Wiggins trade in the moment, I can remember, but is this 10 times better than you thought? I mean, you get the pick that becomes Kuminga plus. Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think we've been in the playoffs so many times. We just, it's really easy to see how important size and length on the wings is come playoff time. And this playoff run, given our 2-year absence, it's a great reminder. It's like, oh yeah, you know, if you don't have it, you're in trouble. And so just having Wiggs is great, but seeing the progression he's made, the rebounding, the engagement, the awareness, he's taken it to another level. And couldn't be more proud of him and more happy for him. I think he's made a leap, and he's just been brilliant for us.